And here we go. This is going to be Taya versus Mokuba, which is probably one of the least exciting duels on paper. The Mokuba deck was created more as a filler so I could have a 16 or a division of 8 to make a tournament easier. Mokuba's deck has been built not to be very strong, but then I was thinking, out of all 15 rounds that are going to constitute this season, I wonder if Mokuba will ever win a duel. He's kind of like the North Melbourne of the AFL for anyone who's Australian or into Australian rules football out there. Mokuba is going to be like the North Melbourne of this Yu-Gi-Oh season. Taya, we know her deck is actually pretty good. She made it to the final. She was the runner-up of the Duelist Kingdom Cup, so on paper this should be a very easy win for Taya, but you never know. Can Mokuba win a duel? Let's find out. Alrighty, getting into it. And here we go. What have we got? Mokuba won the rock, paper, scissors. He's going first. His fusion monster is Rose Spectre of Dun. He needs Arlone and Feral Imp, I think is what he needs from memory. Taya has gone with a face down defense, and so Mokuba's deck is built out of plant and reptile monsters with the exception of Feral Imp, and not really many of them are that strong. Not in this generation of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, but Crocodilus and Man-Eater, well, Man-Eating Plant, were the two cards that he used in Duelist Kingdom after he stole that deck. They're the only two cards I had to go by for making up a deck idea for Mokuba, so this is what it got. Alright, that face down from Taya was an Hourglass of... Is that an Hourglass of Life? By the look of it, so Mokuba has the advantage. Taya with another face down defense. And that will be all. So Mokuba's deck doesn't have any monster. I think its strongest monster is actually Rose Spectre of Dun, that 2000 attack fusion. There's Vile Germs as well. That can be equipped to a plant monster. Be a 300 point increase. Decides not to play it on Laughing Flower. Crocodilus attacks the face down defense, which is Tenderness. That's a 1400 defense. And because Mokuba played Laughing Flower in attack mode, it has to stay in attack mode. And alright, Taya's next turn. What has she got? Tributes Tenderness. That would probably be Dark Witch. Yep. 1800, and that alone is going to be tough for Mokuba to get over. I don't see Mokuba winning a single duel for the entire thing. He will play every character, but you never know. He might win one and then get beaten in the other two, because remember, this is best of 3. Alright, there's Dispel. Mokuba sets Yashinoki as an extra defense. Crocodilus and Laughing Flower both to defense as well. 7 Tools of the Bandit can negate a trap card effect. He has also got Dispel, so if Taya plays any equipped cards, she could lose that as well. Happy Lover, that's an 800 attack. Weak monster, but strong enough to get Laughing Flower off the field. You don't get to see Yu-Gi-Oh cards that weak played anymore. Who would ever keep a Happy Lover in their deck other than Taya Gardner from Duelist Kingdom? Alright, draw phase. Mokuba. Alright, Green Phantom King. That's not a bad draw. Unfortunately though, even with Vile Germs, in Yu-Gi-Oh you can't play monster face up in defense mode. You have to set it in face down. Otherwise, yeah, he could equip Green Phantom King with Vile Germs, but that is the rules of the game. When I was a kid, me and my friends, whenever we'd play Yu-Gi-Oh, would always play cards face up in defense mode straight from the hand, even though it wasn't in the rules. We didn't really know. Oh, Wingweaver. Taya never drew this card throughout the Duelist Kingdom tournament, and it was quite a shame, really, because it is a fairy monster. It's 2750 attack and 2400 defense, and it's a very strong card. Green Phantom King is done. Taya has also equipped it with a silver bow and arrow. That's a 300 point plus, so 3050. Wingweaver right now could defeat a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Mokuba does have Dispel, so that will get rid of Silver Bow and Arrow. What booster pack was Wingweaver in? It was either Metal Raiders or Magic Ruler. Also known as Spell Ruler. Depends what country you were living in when it was released. I think it was Metal Raiders. It was a pretty early booster pack. It's a pretty old card. It's one of the first few booster packs. All right, Beak Snake is destroyed. Red Medicine Mokuba is not drawing cards. Not drawing the cards he needs. And Red Medicine, that will be a Magic Jammer. So Mokuba can't even get that 500 life point increase. Taya threw away Breath of Light. That destroys all rock monsters, which is a pretty useless card for this duel. To be honest, Mokuba doesn't have any rock monsters. Alright. Well, with Wing Weaver on the field, I don't think Taya's going to have much issue winning this duel. Not from here. And flips up Dancing Elf. Dancing Elf and Black Pendant. Okay, that'll put it to 800. That's not a bad play, to be honest, because it is a Yashinoki that's down. Not that Taya knew that, but Mokuba doesn't have strong cards. This is... The funny thing is, it's like watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, but played in like actual duels. I wonder if that would be an interesting series. Using Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories decks, but in like actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Format on Legacy of the Duelist, which is this game here. That'd actually be a pretty interesting series. Mokuba played a negate attack, so he'll be safe for another turn. So like, for example, if anyone played Forbidden Memories, it was a very, very strange Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. You could only play one card per turn, and there were no effects, and you could fuse monsters from your hand without polymerization, but they wouldn't make their normal fusions, like a plant and a warrior monster under 1400, both under 1400 attack, would fuse to make a bean soldier. So like if you played a rock monster and a warrior monster, both under 1300, you'd end up with a Minamushi warrior. Like, the game only had... Oh, how many cards was it? 844 or something? And you couldn't even get all the cards in-game. You couldn't get the black magic ritual for... Anyway, Mokuba has just lost the first game, the best 2 out of 3, so we will get one more at least. Yeah, Forbidden Memories, it's an interesting title. And it would be an interesting series, but a lot of people wouldn't quite understand, like you wouldn't really understand what I was going for unless you've actually played that game. It came out on PS1, so that's how long ago it came out. In fact, if you bought a specific version of it, you got a free memory card as well, back in the day when memory cards were a thing. So the strongest card on Forbidden Memories was Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and they would literally play it from their hand. So we're talking a very, very strange Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. But it had a little bit of a story mode as well. It was an original story as well, and the story was actually alright. Alright, let's see. We're looking from Taya's perspective this time, since Taya won. Since in the last duel, we were looking from Mokuba's perspective. She's only got a Key Mace. Key Mace is another one of those cards that was played very early on in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories too. Sets Key Mace. There is a Malevolent Nuzzler as well as a Monster Reborn and a D-Spell, so good magic cards. Oh, and all equipped cards on Forbidden Memories were a 500 point increase, except for Megamorph. As well, was there? I don't think there was any others. Alright, Mokuba has played Forest, and that will increase all of his plant monsters. Taya does have D-Spell though, so she can get rid of it instantly. Yep, there goes Forest. There we go, and in Forbidden Memories, all of the field cards, well not all of them, but Sojin, Wasteland, Forest, Umi, Yami, and Mountain, they were all in it, and they would do a 500 point increase to attack and defense. So, I mean, the game followed no official rules. It's almost like it was, ooh, Emperor of the Sea and Land. It's a reptile. It's one of Mokuba's strongest cards. And he's got it to the field. Interesting, and Taya only has a monster reborn. So she needs a monster card, and she needs one quick. Happy Lover, that'd get to 1900, so that is strong enough to beat Monster Emperor of the Land and Sea. They're 1500 with Malevolent Nuzzler. It's Taya got a Mokuba, sorry, got a Magic Jammer. All right. Malevolent Nuzzler is destroyed. Wow. Good play. Happy Lover now will be stuck in attack mode as well. There's no point adding that other equip card to it now. Which means Taya is going to be vulnerable to an attack here. It'll be at least 1,000 life points off as well. Mokuba plays Grappler. 1,300 attack, so this is going to be a 2,300 life point loss for Taya here. She may be in a little bit of trouble. I may have spoken too soon. Mokuba may get a win in this duel. How ironic would that be for Mokuba to knock off the runner-up of the Duelist Kingdom Cup? Taya and Joey. Oh, Ancient Elf. Good draw. Especially with Black Pendant, that'll put her... That'll put Ancient Elf to 1950 attack, which will get over Emperor of Land and Sea. And that alone might even be too much for Mokuba to handle. How many people have played Forbidden Memories? Let me know. And would it be a good series to put Forbidden Memories decks into... It'd be very, very odd because a lot of the decks just wouldn't work. But, you know, just for a bit of fun. Alright, Mokuba has gone down with a face-down defense, and Taya plays Monster Reborn and brings back Mokuba's Emperor of the Land and Sea. Alright, unless Mokuba's got something strong on defense, it's looking like Taya may have flipped... Oh, there's Man-Eating Plant, the monster he played in an anime. Well, it looks like Mokuba might be cooked. So I don't expect Mokuba to win any duels, but it'll be interesting to see if he does, because it will be... Any duel he wins is probably an underdog victory, and we all love an underdog victory every now and then. Alright, there's Wabaku. Taya will be able to attack again. Another game which I did a video on this very, very early in my channel's life. Yugioh Duelist of the Roses. That game format was completely different. Negate attack skips the battle phase too, by the way. That's what Mokuba played. Yugioh Duelists of the Roses. That was a very interesting game. That had like a, I think it was 10 by 10, like a grid, and you would move monsters around on a field, and they could only attack if they were like next to each other. Down goes Big Snake. And what is the other card that is face down? Crocodilus again. Yeah. Maybe this game doesn't shuffle cards very well, because he had those in the last duel as well. Beak Snake and Crocodilus. So yeah. Duelists of the Roses had 722 cards from memory. Wait, no. No, I think 722 cards was Forbidden Memories. Duelists of the Roses had... I think it maybe had like 1,100 or so. But there were all the main characters in that as well. They were called something different, but they were all there. Joey was in it, Yugi was in it, Mai, Taya, Pegasus, Kaiba, Panic, Bones, Bakura, Shadi was in it too. All of those players, they were all in it. Alright, there's a Dispel. That will put 500 life point damage to Mokuba, but he's cooked. Yeah, he's beaten. Taya's going to pick up her first win for the season in round 1. And this means we're 3 games out of 8 past the first round. So, yeah, there is a lot going on. I am also still working on Battle City as well, creating some more decks for that as well. I'm hoping that doesn't take too long. Sweet. All right, Taya and Mokuba's duel is done. That is it for this one. Count this one in the book. All right, let's pull up the season card as well and have a quick look. In the next match, what we are going to have is, I know it's up on screen, but it's gone off my screen. Just a second. There we go. All right, so the next match is actually going to be an interesting one. Mako and Bandit Keith. That will be very, very interesting. That's a duel. I have never seen that duel before. And who wins that? That's actually a really good matchup. I reckon that will probably be the match of the round. We've also got Weevil and the Paradox Brothers. Tristan and Joey, that one's just ironic. Mai and Rex, that's a match that we never saw. That'd be an interesting one. And Bones and Bakura, that's a battle of the graveyards. So we have actually got some pretty interesting matches that are going to happen through this season. I'm all keen for them as well. Well, thanks for tuning in. Battle City is still in production as well, getting closer to releasing that. I can't set an exact date for when it's coming out yet, but hopefully soon. It takes such a long time to put the decks together, but all in a day's work. Well, I hope you enjoyed the duel between Taya and Mokuba. Bandit Keith and Mako will be playing tomorrow. Above all else, keep safe, keep well, appreciate the support. Farewell.